That was awesome. So what I really loved about that, especially, was it is so true that I feel like something that really helps when you're feeling feeling stuck or trapped, or when you start to feel overly self-conscious, is when you can focus on something outside yourself. So like I've found that with social phobia, it helps me when, I mean, a lot of people, when they go places, it's just natural instinct for them. They think about whatever kind of purpose, and that's just instantaneous. For me, it's not, and I think it's probably because I have social phobia. But anyway, but when I'm certain places, like if I'm going to a grocery store, I might already have an idea of what I want to get. I might already have a list. I don't really necessarily need a list if there's something that I want to get. But instead of, it's not necessarily distraction, but if I'm feeling especially nervous, it's hard for me to even function in that setting, and it's not necessarily distraction. It's almost like you start kind of shutting down. It's not as bad as it used to be, but I think something that helped me get through it and get better with it is being able to sort of refocus on the environment itself, and like if I see a face, for instance, and I'm uncertain whether I recognize that person, because like that's part of my issue too, is like traumatic issues where I get scared that I am recognizing somebody I don't want to see. Like that kind of thing can happen to me. It helps me, like, I mean, not to stare at people, but it helps me to recognize certain things about where I am and think about that, and not think about what I'm feeling, what I might look like, what I might be. Um, I don't know, like to get out of self-consciousness and that and not think about me, but think about whatever sort of things are around me and kind of get back into this is where I am right now and I'm not in this other place. Although, I mean, there are times where you do want to feel like you're in some other place in order to relax and refocus. But I feel also like it's good to not let yourself allow that place to be something that breeds self-consciousness, in other words. Because I feel like self-consciousness really feeds into social phobia. And so I get that with the whole thing of like not wanting to look at mirrors, not feeling comfortable with that, because it somehow it's like it makes everything feel tighter, like smaller, like when and I know that's probably the opposite of the effect that mirrors are supposed to have, but it's like I don't want that, and I kind of get that in these lyrics. Like, I understand that completely. Like, I get that. And it is very freeing sometimes just being outside. It's just freeing being able to look out of a window or something if you're feeling that way. Or look towards the exits and remind yourself where the exits are, which is something that I shouldn't do, but something that I find helps me or relaxes me when I'm feeling like I'm becoming especially nervous or have anxiety. I have to think about where the exit is because I might have to go. Like, what if I need to just break out of it and relax, like just leave and be isolated or something. Like, so I understand that need for just like the idea of like being able to look up and there's like a sky glass or something. I understand like that desire for something like that. That does sound amazing. Especially if you're having like a crisis or feeling like you're close to some sort of like anxiety crisis or like autistic burnout or something. Or autistic crash or something. Um yeah, I mean, I completely get that. And I love the music. The music had a very nostalgic sound to it and it was a very fun song. I really liked it.